Hello fellow aspirants, this is Aditya Sharma again here with a new set of current affairs for the date 18th October. So the first article which we see is the Supreme Court has upheld the Section 6A of Citizenship Amendment Act of 1955, which is a result of Assam Accord, where citizens who has migrated to Assam between 1966 or before 1966 from to 1966 to 1966, 1971, they won't be treated as illegal migrants. If they have migrated between 1966 and 1971, they would be treated as citizens only, but they would be getting the voting rights after 10 years. So that was it, and it was held correct, according with a majority of 4:1. The other judge has an argument that fraternity uh, cannot be for for one state. It should be for entirely. If they are migrating to other states also, that should be treated treated the under illegal migrants, and it should be a holistic law rather than being just for state. So we'll discuss it further in the upcoming articles. The next article is hmm, about what is LOC. LOC is uh, Lookout Circular, which is issued by authorities to curtail the right to move outside the India. It is uh, it is given when there are criminal charges, and it is issued by court, and it has the accused or like, they cannot move out of the city or out of the country. That is about it. The next article is about there has been breach in the embankments in the Sundarban area. Donia is a river in Sundarban, which you can remember, and there was uh, as the embankment is 3,000 kilometers, so there has been frequent breakage and frequent storms have been hitting it. So there has been failure, and it has caused floods. So you can consider this as a this what firstly the location Hatania, the Noya River, which is in Sundarban, and then again what are the challenges while building embankments in Sundarban can be an but this can be also written while tackling answers. Uh, Triveni Ghat is a ghat on Ganga River in Rishikesh. You can remember this. You should have been known it also. Now, there has been petition from J&K government about LG's power. LG has a power to nominate 5 MLAs, but it is against the government says it is against the spirit and structure of constitution. That is about it, and we'll see it further when there is a judgment on it. Mm, Madrasa Board plans to introduce Sanskrit. The Uttarakhand Madrasa Board is planning to introduce Sanskrit education on an optional basis for over 400 madrasas. We are planning to plan for some time. A proposal is being compared with implementing if we get ahead from the state government. So this is an inviting step and inclusive and known like it's a three language formula also which can be chosen for study. And now the next article is about the universal basic income. So recently, International Labor Organization talks about how job growth has been lagging globally due to automation and artificial intelligence. There has been in India also there is a problem of jobless growth, which is mm, which is which tells us the productivity is high, but job creation lags due to introduction of new technologies. So, but India has been practicing UBI in some form, and such as Jan Dhan Yojana, such as direct benefit transfer, and all other things, which is also highlighted in Economic Survey. Economic Survey firstly introduced UBI, and then we got to know about it. Uh, The author tells us that while a policy is introduced, it has two things. Either they are feasible, either they are desirable. There are policy lags or policy problems, that something are feasible which is not desirable, but something are desirable which is not feasible. For example, introduction of highways, good highways. It is not feasible. It is feasible, but it is not desirable because it does not alleviate poverty properly. So the direct poverty alleviation is not targeted in that. But there are feasibility, but there are desirability. For example, giving universal basic income, but it cost government so high. So later in the article also, the author has given some hmm, policy recommendation which we are going to read. So that is something. Now, what are similar schemes such as UBI, which is Raitu Bandhu scheme, which is Kalia Guru Assistance for Livelihood, Pradhan Mantri Krishi Samman Yojana. These are few schemes which are there. Now, the problem with UBI, the problem with these schemes are they have inclusion exclusion errors. They have logistic errors. Even UBI also suffers from logistic errors, such as uh, how we will deliver the cash to people, how we will deliver the biometric failures, or how there would be electronic payment failures. What are these are logistical issues which are associated with universal basic income also. So the author has suggested that we do not have to there were several committees which have asked to implement, which has targeted to implement 3%, 11% of GDP. But that is not necessary. We can start with 144 rupees per person per month. That, and on an average, four people, there will be around 500 rupees in a month. And it is recommended by Karthik Mullidharan, the economist. And it would cost much, but you will say then it is very less, 144 rupees. What do we do? Now we have to look at the poverty line. Poverty line says 1,500, sorry, 1,880 rupees in urban area is for an average, for a month, for a family, or for a person. So it is it is on the lines of what do we say, poverty alleviation. So that can be done, and this is about the article. Now now there is an interesting article that Google should open its Android platform to third-party apps, and the payment payment gateway should be eased. For example, the Google takes commission about 15% from the app who generate revenue. Like, apps have to give 15% of revenue they earn because they are launched from the Google Play but Play Store. So that this has led to anarchy, that has led to monopolization of the apps. Said more than, like, we don't have any Android uh, store which gives app other than Google. So this was challenged in USA by Tencent. What do we say? Tencent playing it's a Epic Games, and Google also also has tax biasness. For Tinder and Spotify, they charge less, and but for smaller groups, they charge smaller apps, they charge more, and this is the problem, and this has been addressed. But Google has to include has to include third party now. The code seems to this has led to market fairness, and this has led to multiple players in the market and lower cost paid by the users also, because now, as there won't be much competition, so people can easily pe- people can easily hello people can easily uh, easily purchase those, and they would cost less. Now the next article is about India's sustainable development focus. and human development issue. We can take this cutout, we can take a cutout of this article, and then because it has a lot of data. Recently, there was UN Agenda meet. There is UN Agenda 2030 on sustainable development, and there had been where summits such as Sustainable Development Sub Summit in United Nations, and there was a summit recently, Summit of the Future, in September 23, 2024. So this led to various various programs, which are India and globally discussion on various programs where India and globally countries are making efforts for human development and sustainable development goals. There is there is a talk about Human Development Index, which focuses on health, life expectancy, that is knowledge, number of schooling years, mean schooling years, and standard of living, income per capita. This has also been included in this has also been discussed in Sustainable Development Goals 3, 4, 5, 8, 10, respectively. And India stands at 0.66 value, and it is on the 34th country. SDR also interpolate consistent. It compares it. It shows uh, countries index. Also, it compares country with countries and countries over the years. So SDR also represents gender data. How disparity is. India is one of the is one of the countries in Asia which has highest gender biasness. For example, the female participation is merely 37%, and in the developed country it is more than 54%, and that is about it. So there has been income inequality too. So this is the article about it. There is a lot of data. You can keep that data with you, and you can have a cutout. Now, the next article is about what is the exception of marital rape. And marital rape has made exceptions in Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita under Section 3063, Exception 2, where there is legal immunity to Indian husbands by stipulating that sexual intercourse or act by men with his wife, provided it's not under 18. So if a, uh, if a husband makes social intercourse, if the wife is not 18, it is not treated. If the wife is 18 and it is non-consensual and it includes all the cruelty, so it won't be treated as rape, and that's the problem. And hence there has been petition, and there has been judgments also. But again, the problem here is about how how do we track that? Like, giving legal immunity to women is a good thing, but it also leads to consequences. So, according to data, there are one third of the women who faces sexual harassment, they are married, or they are that is a that is put on by their husband. So that is about one third, and globally, three quarters of all sexual transfer within the intimate settings. This is about it. There is a doctrine in मतलब where we have adopted it, हम यूके से लाए हैं. यूके का एक लॉ था, उसी को हमने यहाँ ले लिया. So it is relic of the colonial era. For example, वहाँ पे एक था doctrine of covert term, which means India, which means women and men are single entity rather than they have consolidated, मतलब they are single entity. तो उनके उनके ऊपर कुछ नहीं लगता. So, but this has been invalidated by Supreme Court in its judgment, uh, in its judgment, and even in England also it has been invalidated. According to Article 375 of IPC, seven conditions are there for sexual intercourse that can be rewarded as rape. That is, woman consent is not there, or uh, woman consent is woman consent problem. woman consent is not there, then it is rape. And there is exception for for medical procedure and exception in sexual intercourse or sexual act provided by wife. So this is about the thing. How uh, now how what are the other options? There has been options in section 85 of BNS, which criminalizes sub, subjecting to a woman cruelty, women for domestic violence act. Then there is Article 14. Then there is uh, if these exemptions are there, then it leads to problem of principle of substantive equality, which is practiced like जो unmarried है उनके लिए तो है ये law, rapes are there, but married के लिए rape is not a ground to fight a case on. Then it violates the Article 51A, non-discrimination of men on grounds of race, caste, and all these things. So these are various things which has highlighted. In March 22, Karnataka court in Sahu versus State of Karnataka ruled that married women can be prosecuted for raping his wife. Married man can be prosecuted for raping his wife. The judgment relied on 2013 report of J.S. Verma committee recommended the abolition of MRE. So this is the thing, and I think uh, I think there is a need for an autonomy of like for 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 females, and but implementation issues are there, and that has to be brought into consideration. Now the next article is about our next Chief Justice, who would be Mr. Sanjeev Khanna, and he would be 51st Chief Justice of India. Uh, D.Y. Chandrachud was one of the highest serving Chief Justice, and that is about it. There is another Abhidhamma Divas, which is related to Buddhism. Pali is recently recognized as classical language. Now, the other thing is there was a huge tragedy in Bihar, that is uh, consumption of contaminated alcohol. Now, the railway has reduced the the railway has reduced the time from 60 days to 120 days to 60 days for reservations. So now you can make reservations up to 60 days only, and this would be effective from November 1. And this has been done so because most of the people who reserve don't appear on for the seat, and this leads to problem of this leads to problem of wastage of seats and revenue. And this is the thing. So that's all for today, and hope you have a nice day ahead. Thank you for attending the discussion.